way. Even then, as few as 1 in 50 will survive to adulthood. No sooner has she delivered her hatchlings to their new home than she has to grab them up again. Another female barges in. This is disputed territory. Even with a mouthful of babies, the mother becomes embroiled in a shoving match. Her larger size quickly carries the day. Now, the youngster's education can begin in earnest. As soon as they adapt to the water, they're ready to hunt. But these tiny crocs are not going to be taking on any wildebeest just yet. And already, the sibling rivalry is fierce. For a crocodile, the road to top predator is paved with a lot of bugs. And there are other, tougher lessons still to swallow. Death stalks these riverbanks in all forms. And the tiny crocs seek the best refuge around. But there's no time for a mother to corral all her youngsters. Her only defense is a strong offense. The heron retreats, but is unwilling to forego such tasty morsels. It's not long before the mother's considerable powers of persuasion send the heron in search of an easier meal. But a croc's fury does not cool quickly. Every creature is now at risk. The youngsters are beginning to absorb the most valuable lesson of all. Out here, it's safer to stick close to mom. When that rule is broken, the consequences can be deadly. Even at 3 feet and 50 pounds, Nile perch can sneak up without warning. They send the hatchlings scurrying for the safety of the reeds, only to attract the attention of the voracious marabou stork. Throughout Africa, the rains often signal the time for crocodiles to disperse. Young crocs, even those that have recently hatched, will use the new channels to seek out ranges of their own. They may travel dozens of miles to find a water hole or a stretch of river where they can safely live. Even at 8 years old and 8 feet, an adolescent crocodile must still steer a cautious course. Her education is far from over. By now, she's large and fast enough to catch fish, as soon as one dares to swim near her snout. She's too big to fear even a Goliath heron. But a hippo can crush a young crocodile in its jaws. She's far too small to intimidate a lion. But they might one day be competitors. Even with calves in tow, the elephants just ignore her. As for any adolescent, the temptations are many and the opportunities very few. But the young crocs here are learning another key lesson in survival: to seize every opportunity. These carmine bee-eaters have built their nests deep in the riverbank. They're returning with food for their chicks. Below, the crocodiles can do little more than hope a youngster falls out. But other predators don't have to wait. The nemesis of all hatchlings, the monitor lizard, knows exactly when the hunting is good. All the crocs can do is watch. Perhaps their old enemy will drop a chick, or better yet, slip and become a meal itself. It's a frustrating way to learn the value of patience. But as it crawls from nest to nest, the croc's old foe becomes an unwitting ally. Soon it triggers a chain reaction. The wall, already loosened by rain and drought, starts to crumble. It's a disaster for the bee-eaters, but a bonus for patient predators. A black kite swoops in. Knocked from their nests, the chicks have no hope of rescue. Their fluttering helps seal their fate. For a croc, a bee-eater is barely a snack. But even the leftovers are worth a fight. Young crocodiles soon discover that another old enemy, Africa's heat, can aid them as well. As the dry season sets in, animals crowd to drink where they can. Buffalo may walk great distances to find water. They're far too powerful for an adolescent crocodile to attack. But some arrive doomed by exhaustion. As if of one mind, the young crocs head for the same spot. A buffalo is a bountiful meal, and crocodiles scavenge whenever they get a chance. For the moment, the crocs put aside their intense competitions. Some anchoring the carcass, others tear off chunks by biting and spinning. For growing crocodiles, plentiful meals are the exception. Usually, competition for food is fierce. And when a meal is in the offing, the biggest usually decide who stays and who goes. These crocs live along a range where Thompson's gazelles graze. They're a favorite prey. The gazelles might try to outswim the crocs if the grass looks greener on the other side. The crocs know where the gazelles prefer to cross and go to great trouble to maneuver into position. Heaving their massive bodies up the falls is hard work, but it just might be worth the effort. For each of the crocs, this hunt is critical. A gazelle is only enough food for one. Compelled to reach richer pastures, a few gazelles take the risk. These crocs are starving, and some might get to relieve their hunger. While the crocs feast, the gazelles make a run for it, but they fatally miscalculated. Each small gazelle quickly becomes a magnet for a swarm of hungry crocs. And there aren't enough gazelles to go around. Soon, unquenched appetites explode into heated rivalries. When the banquet is meager, the largest crocs secure the biggest mouthfuls. And they don't need table manners.